I was stuck at 20% body fat for years. All I ever wanted was to look strong, lean, and athletic to finally get to 10%. But even when I lost a little bit of fat, I never actually got there. And any progress I made was short-lived. But then one day I realized, surely if other people can do it, so could I. I'm gonna break down everything I did into 7 steps so you can skip the long road of learning and get straight to doing. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I wish someone told me this growing up. It would have made the process a lot easier. Getting to 10% body fat isn't easy. It's not difficult in the same way as a marathon or an MMA fight, because people love doing difficult things. It's exciting, thrilling, and it feels like you're pushing yourself towards something. Getting to 10% body fat is the opposite. And this is why most people get stuck into thinking that getting to 10% body fat requires some form of extreme training or some weird elimination diet that leaves you constipated with bad breath. The truth is, the process is very simple. And if I spent a full day with you, showing you exactly what you need to do, when to do it, and how to do it, you probably think this guy's a liar. There's no way it's that easy. How can it be that simple? The most difficult part isn't what you actually need to do. It's repeating what you need to do every single day for as long as it takes. And that side of the process isn't exciting, it's not thrilling, it's repetitive and boring, extremely boring. You simply have to do very tedious things over and over and over again every single day until you get to 10% body fat. And once you do get to 10% body fat, you can't take your foot off the pedal for too long. Otherwise, you'll lose it much quicker than you got it. And that's why getting to 10% body fat is the purest form of consistency and discipline. And you'll see many people who can run long distances, but you won't see many people walking around at 10% body fat. Like I said before, it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's piece of cake, but you do need to know exactly what you need to do and how to stay consistent for long enough to see the results that you want. And I'm gonna show you both. Fat is simply stored energy. And the only way to get your body to use that energy is if you give your body less energy than it needs in the form of food to maintain your weight. Your maintenance is 2,700 calories. Anything below 2,700 would be a calorie deficit. And you will lose fat. It's that simple. I do recommend you start off with either a 300 to 500 calorie deficit, as this will allow you to see progress quick enough for you to stay motivated, but it's also not aggressive enough to the point where you start to hate your life. To figure out how many calories you should be eating, use the calculator I've left in the description. Enter your details accurately and it will give you an approximation of your maintenance calories. You then get that number and then take away 500 from it, and that will put you into a 500 calorie deficit. And once you get an estimation of how many calories you should be eating, you should download a calorie tracking app. A calorie tracking app will be your greatest asset to getting to 10% body fat. Personally, I use MyFitnessPal, but any good calorie tracking app will work. Do your best to track everything as accurately as possible. This means tracking your food, tracking your oils, sauces, snacks. Track everything that goes into your mouth except for water and 0-calorie drinks. Tracking your calories will give you control. It will let you decide how much you want to weigh, how you want to look, and how quickly you want to get there. And think about it like this: the more you rush the process, the more likely you are to put the weight back on. So take it slow, take it easy, build the lifestyle habits, and make it an easy process for yourself. Alongside tracking your calories, you need to track your weight. Weigh yourself once in the morning before you've eaten or drank anything. Write down that weight every single day, and then at the end of every week, take a weekly average and compare week by week. Don't compare day by day, because day by day you can have many little weight fluctuations. Do it week by week. And aim to lose 0.8 to 1% of your body weight every single week. So for example, if you weigh 170 pounds, that would be anywhere between 1.4 to 1.7 pounds. And this will allow you to lose weight quick enough to lose fat, but not too quick to the point where you're losing muscle as well. You're not gonna feel hungry all day, every day. But if you're trying to get to 10% body fat, you will feel hunger at times. And don't worry, it's completely normal. The goal isn't to avoid hunger completely, but the goal is to control it. And the first way to manage your hunger is by eating more food. When you're eating in a calorie deficit, by default, you're putting less food into your stomach. And the easiest way to fix that is by eating high volume foods. These are foods which take up a lot of space in your plate and your stomach, but are also low in calories, such as vegetables, fruits, potatoes, oats, lean meats, and clear broth soups. Whole foods are basically just single ingredient foods that come from the earth or come from animals. These foods will keep you feeling full for longer, and you can eat a lot of these foods while still staying in a deficit. On the other hand, ultra processed foods will do the complete opposite. They're high in calories, they don't keep you full, they spike your blood sugar, and honestly, they're just addictive. And don't worry, I know they can taste good, but if your goal is to get to 10% body fat, they'll make the process a lot more difficult. A high protein diet will also help to stabilize your appetite, and it will help you maintain your muscle whilst you are losing fat. If you're planning on losing weight without eating enough protein, you're going to be putting yourself into a position where you're likely to lose both fat and muscle. And trust me, there is no point in getting to 10% body fat if you lose all of your muscle in the process. Aim for around 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I personally eat on the higher end of that spectrum simply because my meals are naturally high in protein and I don't want to lose any muscle. You also want to make sure that your diet is high in both fiber and micronutrients. Fiber will help keep you satiated, basically means means just staying full. And micronutrients will help with your energy, hormones, appetite, and they're just good if you want to be healthy in general. But the good news is, if you are prioritizing whole foods, then whole foods tend to have a lot of micronutrients and fiber anyway, so you should be fine. Another thing that helps a lot is pushing your calories for later on in the day, which is why a lot of people do intermittent fasting, as it can help with their cravings and hunger management. I personally don't do intermittent fasting, I just don't really need to, and I actually enjoy having my meals spread out throughout the day. However, I do keep the meals towards the beginning of the day a lot lighter in calories and then save most of my calories for dinner. I don't care if I'm trying to get to 10% body fat, I don't care what my goals are. I refuse to ever go to sleep with an empty stomach. It will never happen. Trust me, save a decent amount of calories for the end of the day. Doesn't mean you should starve yourself the whole day, but eat throughout the day, but save enough calories so when you go to sleep, you feel full. And this one tip alone will make the process so much easier. Eating the same foods every day will help massively. It reduces decision fatigue, it makes meal preps easier, and it keeps your calories consistent. But obviously, life happens. Not every single day is gonna be the same, and you have to be adaptable. And realistically, you're not gonna bring a meal prep to your best friend's wedding, unless of course you want to, but it's a little bit weird in my opinion, don't do it. But what matters most is how you handle these situations. Always go for the best possible option. If you look hard enough, there will always be a rice, meat, and vegetable combination anywhere you go. So just try your best to stick to whole foods as much as you can. When it comes to the sauces that goes on top of the food, aim to get a red tomato-based or chili-based sauce over a white creamy sauce. Red sauces just tend to be lower in calories. Next thing you can do, if you're trying to get to 10% body fat, is to try your best to get an estimation of the meals you're eating. And don't worry, I'm not telling you to bring a food scale to your grandma's 90th birthday, but I will take a picture of my plate. And this is actually a perfectly normal thing to do. People always take photos of their food and put it on Instagram. But later on, when I'm not in a social setting and I'm just in the comfort of my own home, I'll try my best to get an approximation of the calories in that meal. Is it going to be accurate? No. But it's always better to get an estimation rather than go completely off track, especially if you're trying to get to 10% body fat, which is not an easy goal to reach already. But even then, if you don't want to get an estimation, these events don't really happen all the time. And realistically, the real progress will come from day-to-day life, eating the meals that you prepared at home and staying consistent with those meals. Just keep stacking good days and the rare events will be insignificant. When it comes to getting to 10% body fat, resistance training should always be the priority. Cardio will help you burn calories and support fat loss, but resistance training is what will build the body, give you that strong, lean, and athletic look. And your main goal during this process is to keep your strength as high as possible. So even if your volume decreases slightly, as long as your intensity stays high and you're training hard in the gym, then you'll be fine. Just make sure your program is prioritizing compound movements. These are exercises that recruit many muscles at once and is how you'll build the majority of the muscle in your body. Personally, I love combining weighted calisthenics with weights. It's just a style of training I've grown to enjoy. But you can do body weight training, or weighted calisthenics, because at the end of the day, your body doesn't know the difference between a pull-up and a lat pull-down. But it doesn't really matter what style of training you decide to do. Just do something you'll enjoy and can stick to for a long enough period of time to make good progress. After your compounds, do some isolations to target smaller muscle groups, which aren't the main movers in compound exercise. These tend to be your biceps, triceps, calves, and shoulders. Make sure you're also hitting each muscle group twice per week, as this is optimal for both muscle growth and recovery. Honestly, a good simple program following the basics, hitting your compounds and isolations will be more than enough to maintain your muscle whilst losing fat. Cardio isn't the main driver of fat loss, but it does 100% help, as you are burning calories and you have to be in a calorie deficit, so cardio will add to that calorie deficit or help create the calorie deficit. One of the best ways to increase the amount of calories you burn in a day is by increasing your NEAT. This stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and it's just the amount of calories you burn outside of direct exercise. And the best way to increase your NEAT is simply by going on more walks, doing 8 to 10K steps a day. It's a very easy way to just burn a few extra calories throughout the day. You can also burn calories through direct exercise, so just put the treadmill on the max incline and do a speed you can maintain for 30 minutes. I do recommend you find a sport, hobby, or activity you enjoy. Because if you do something you enjoy, you're more likely to stick to it and follow through, and it's just a good way to build a healthy lifestyle. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Realistically, you're not gonna wake up feeling inspired and disciplined every single day. When you build good habits, fat loss becomes effortless. And one of the best ways to break bad habits is having them out of sight and out of mind. If you have junk food in the house, you will eat it, and so would I. When it's not in front of you, then the craving disappears. So remove anything that will make it hard for you to stick to your deficit, give it to some friends, give it to your family, just get rid of it. And you need to make your good habits so easy to stick to that you do them without thinking. So if you forget to track your calories, leave your food scale out in the kitchen. If you forget to weigh yourself, leave the scale beside your bed. If you forget to drink water, leave it out on your desk. Make the good habits easy and make the bad habits hard. Very simple. You now know how to eat, how to train, how to manage your hunger, and how to build habits that make the process easier. But none of that will matter without consistency. And I need you to understand this. It's just about showing up every single day, doing what you need to do every single day, even when you don't feel like it. You're gonna have a weekend or two that don't go to plan. Real consistency is all about how quick you can get back on track after you've had a slip up. If you have one day in a month where you go off track by accident on your diet, as long as you prevent that bad day from becoming 2 bad days or 2 bad weeks, then it will have zero impact. It's not genetics, it's not motivation, it's not the perfect diet or perfect program, simply consistency. The longer you stay consistent, the easier it gets. Your appetite will adjust, your habits will become more ingrained within you, and your routine will become automatic. Get the ball rolling, get started, and just try your best. And if you stay consistent with everything we've spoken about today for long enough, you will get to 10% body fat. And if there's only one thing you take away from this video, let it be this. To get to 10% body fat, you don't have to have top 1% genetics or the perfect lifestyle. And trust me, I'd lose a little bit of fat, gain a little bit of fat, and I'd be stuck yo-yo dieting for years. And I've actually had conversations with family members where we said that I wasn't a lean person naturally. But the truth is, once you commit to the process and commit to doing the little things every single day, everything changes. So take everything we've spoken about today, apply it, don't overthink it, just do what needs to be done. But if you do need my help with your training, your nutrition, your routine, and just building consistency, just press the link in the description if you want to work one-on-one with me. But either way, I know you can do this. And if I can do it, you can do it too. I believe in you. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And as per usual, it's been a pleasure talking to you. My name is Iyad Harishi, by the way.